are cooking with Sheila in the Gangsta Goodies Kitchen, and we're going to show you how to make one of my favorite appetizers. It's a creamy shrimp dip, and my guest, Khiana Leapheart, is going to step us through that, and we're going to have a really great conversation about peaceful protesting in Kansas City, y'all. So when we come back, you'll meet Khiana Leapheart. The ingredients for our creamy shrimp dip include cream cheese, cooked shrimp, mayonnaise, a blackened seasoning by Whip Something Up TV, green onions, both the green and the white part, Dijon mustard, capers, and chopped garlic, y'all. Hey, y'all, we are back with my special guest, Khiana Leapheart. Can you tell everyone hello?
Hey, y'all, what's going on?
So what are you going to show us how to make today?
I'm going to be showing you how to make some bomb shrimp dip. Let's get it.
Okay, let's do it. So what's your first ingredient you're going to put in?
I would imagine the shrimp, right?
Actually, no. We're going to put the cream cheese in first.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That works.
So, and that just kind of gets it, it'll start doing its thing.
Right.
Now, with the cream cheese, you have to kind of let it sit out and let it get warm because you definitely do not want to heat this up, okay? So, while you're getting ready to do it. And you've got a spoon right there, and I'll let you kind of break that up a little bit. Does it feel soft?
Yes, it does.
Okay,
really
perfect. Awesome. Okay. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the
mayo.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I've had this conversation with other people. So, do you prefer real mayo or Miracle Whip?
So, the funny thing about that, when I was younger, I grew up on Miracle Whip.
Okay.
But now that I've become a grown-ass woman,
Okay.
I like mayo.
There we go.
I like the real deal.
And so you're in Atlanta, so you can probably go into any grocery store and get Duke's mayo, right?
Yes.
It's the best.
Yes,
it is the best. See, we don't get it often. I mean, you have to really look for it here to get Duke's. Yes.
Do not know
and when I find it, I'm getting 2 and 3 jars.
Okay.
Yes, best mayo. That's what y'all like. Miracle Whip or mayo. Okay, so we got the mayo in, and then we have the Dijon mustard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it gives it kind of like a little twang, And now we're just going to mix that all up. And so probably I could have let the cream cheese taken it out a little sooner so it could be softer. But as you're manipulating it, it's going to whip all together.
Right.
And so we'll go ahead and add the rest of the ingredients.
Okay.
And so if you want to add the shrimp, and that's about a half a pound of cooked shrimp, y'all. I mean, you can get raw shrimp and cook it. I do that most of the time, but I didn't have time today. I had to work away from home today, so, that's kind of how that went. The next thing we're going to add is green onions. And so we're using the green and the white. And you can use about half of it. There we go. And then we've got chopped garlic. And that's about three cloves of fresh chopped garlic. And the last thing we're going to add is some of the seasoning. I absolutely love this seasoning. So this is, shout out to my foodie friend Jelani up in the Washington area, Whip Something Up TV. So these are Whip Something Up spices. And that is the blackened seasoning spice, and I absolutely love it. There we go. Look at you. Yeah, give us some flavor, y'all.
Right, absolutely.
Yes. And so Khiana's going to mix that up. And then when we come back, we're going to sit down. We're going to tell you how fire this creamy dip is. And we're going to get into a very interesting conversation, Kansas City. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Hey, y'all. We are back, and we get a chance to take Khiana's dip. And we're going to tell you how fire it is, y'all. Okay, go ahead. Let's taste it.
Sure.
Yes.
Let's do it.
It looks delicious.
It sure does. And I love shrimp, so anything shrimp.
Okay.
I already have a buy-in.
There we go. Now, you can also do this with vegetables, with crostini, with pita bread. It doesn't have to be, crackers. That's what we had here in the Gangsta Goodies Kitchen, so that's what we use today. So,
Yeah, that's good right there. Good stuff. I did that.
Yes, you did.
Courtesy of Gangsta Goodies.
Now, we always say when something is really good in the Gangsta Goodies Kitchen, we say it's fire.
Okay.
F-I-Y-A-H. It's fire, y'all. So, I want you guys to try this recipe. If anybody wants the recipe, I think Khiana will share it with y'all. What you think?
Absolutely. I'll share it. It is fire. It is fire for real.
And I think that Blackened seasoning. From Whip Something Up TV. Jelani, you're onto something, sweetie. That is awesome. We love it. And so I want to take a moment to say a little bit about Khiana. And as I know y'all noticed my necklace. Isn't it beautiful? Yes. Yes. And so this is a product of Khiana's boutique. Tell everybody about your boutique.
Yes, so I have a boutique. It's called Prissy and Posh Boutique. It is an online boutique primarily, and then I do what's called Prissy parties, where I go to individuals' homes and for different events for women and showcase my pieces that way, and fashion shows. So Prissy and Posh Boutique, I'm a breast cancer survivor, came out of my vision as being a breast cancer survivor and going through such life-changing experience in my life, and just, you know, of course, all that you go through with going through chemo, and just wanting to make sure that no matter what I was going through, to let cancer know I was going to look good and I was going to feel good no matter what. So that's kind of where the vision is for Prissy and Posh Boutique.
Awesome. I love it. And so we'll put up the information, your website, all your social media handles.
Okay.
Y'all hit her up. She's got stuff like this. And you know, that speaks to the woman in each of you. So y'all check her out. Now, we are here to talk about something very serious. Okay. So, and I really kind of went back and forth on, Sheila, how do you use your platform to help spread the word and to raise awareness? And the reason why we do Gangsta Goodies Kitchen, it's not about the food. And I say that often, y'all. It's not about the food. Food is the vehicle that brings us together to have those conversations. But it's all about what's going on in our world, what's going on with the guests. So, you guys, we are going to talk about something that's very difficult. It's a difficult conversation. But you know what? When you look like us, when your melanin is popping like this, you know, there's just some things that, you know, injustices that we deal with, okay? And so, as beautiful as this melanin is, and Khiana's melanin is, and all black men and women and little boys and girls, it is at the root of our injustices. And it's like, what the hell? What the problem is? And so, it's deeply rooted. But in Kansas City, we've had, just as in many cities, we've had peaceful protesting. And so, tell us, from a mother's perspective, because you have a personal experience, not what she heard somebody say, not Pookie and them down the streets, baby, not Nana's baby next door, her own baby, y'all. And so, share a little bit of that with us. Tell us who Charles is.
Okay, definitely. So, as Sheila mentioned, I have two sons. My younger son, his name is Charles, and he is a college athlete. So, of course, school is out. He's in Kansas City, you know, for the summer. And, of course, you know, being a young black man in America and knowing what's going on with the lynching of George Floyd, he wanted to get involved. You know, so he told me he wanted to get involved, and he and some of his friends, they went down to the plaza in Kansas City to do the peaceful protesting.
Now, I'm sorry, let me interrupt. What day did they go? Was it, because this is, I think, the 6th day now, if I'm not mistaken. So, do you know, can you tell us what day did your son and his friends go?
They went this past Monday.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So they went down there this past Monday. Actually, they did some peaceful protesting on the Kansas City, Kansas side, where we're from. Shout out to Wyandotte County, honey. And so after leaving that there, they wanted to come over here to Kansas City, Missouri, into the plaza. So they went, you know, the young fellas went over to came down here to the plaza and started doing their peaceful protesting. He said everything went good. The protesting was over, and these young adults are literally walking to their cars. And my son tells me that out of nowhere, KCPD comes out of nowhere and just body slams one of his friends.
Oh my goodness.
With no warning, didn't say anything, because I questioned him, like, was there anything that was said? And he was like, no, they really, and from there.
So they gave no commands, no instructions, no nothing. They just attacked.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so from that point, he said, of course, as you can imagine, they was like, what? Oh, and also they drew guns on the young man that they slammed on the ground, to the ground. So my son and his friends, they took off running, you know, of course, obviously in different directions. My son, from just his personal experience, he said he jumped over a fence. He said when he got over the other side of the fence, there were 3 KCPD officers at the fence with their guns drawn.
Oh my God. Now let's stop a moment and talk about, because some people out there would say, well, if they weren't doing anything wrong, why would they run?
Right.
Okay. So can you speak to why would a black young man run? Okay, not just any young man, but why would a black young man run?
First of all, look at what's going on right now. Look what happened to George Floyd. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, me and my son discussed that, and just to, you know, he's like, look at what happened to him. He said I didn't know what to expect, and with having these police officers not say anything, not give him any commands, not say that they broke any laws, and to literally just body slam one of his friends. You know what I'm saying? Your first instinct is you gonna be a run.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To run, to take flight, essentially.
Right. You sense danger.
Yeah, exactly.
That's danger,
and
yes.
to be honest, we don't know, and he didn't know, and none of the friends knew, what are these cops gonna do to me? What are these cops gonna do to us? Mm-hmm. So we better take off running. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So felt like they were in danger, which is crazy because we're talking about the police, the people that are supposed to protect and serve. And these young adults, nobody got weapons or anything like this. They are walking to their cars.
Wow. Now, let me ask you this, Khiana. So it is, I was looking at, somebody had posted on their social media the other day, and the question was, how old were you when the first time a cop pulled out and drew their gun on you? And I'm like,
right.
And for that to be a question amongst my people, 8, 9, 15, 11. These are men and women. And they're given a little snippet of the story. You mean an innocent child? A kid? These are kids, 7?
Yeah.
You can pull a gun on a 7-year-old?
Well, we see what happened to Tamar Rice, right?
Oh my God. You guys, my spirit has been so unsettled. And we have to speak out. You know, and speaking out does not mean that we don't like white people. Okay, so y'all get that out of y'all's head.
Right.
That's not what that means.
It has nothing to do. It's not even a part of the narrative.
It is not
a part of the narrative. You know what I'm saying? What we are focusing on is how we as black people, how our sons, our daughters, our husbands, our wives are being impacted, how we're being treated.
Yes.
And that's what the focus is, and that's what it needs to be. And
Absolutely.
Not only how they've been treated and being murdered and being brutally attacked by police officers, but then also there's no consequences. There's no repercussions because they supposedly have a badge.
So it's interesting. Now, I don't have sons, so I can only imagine having sons. But I have a 3-year-old grandson and a 7-year-old grandson. I'm very concerned about that. Yeah. And we already, with my granddaughter who's going to turn 14, we have to have conversations with her that if for some reason you're somewhere and the cops come in, it's kind of iffy on whether they're there to protect you or not.
Absolutely.
So you need to be aware, baby girl. You need to be thinking and paying. Why do we have to teach our kids this?
And the saddest part for me as a mother was for my son to say, Mama, when I came over that fence and those 3 police officers had their guns drawn on me, and he said one of them cocked his gun And he said they slammed him he said he got on the ground because he said, I don't want no problems. And he said that one of them came and still kneed him and kicked him in his face. And he said all that he can think about is, these police are going to kill me.
Oh,
and to have to even think that and consider that when you have not committed not one crime, you are well within your constitutional right to protest and to be there in that moment and to have to feel that, you know what I'm saying? And to have that and to also be a young black man to know and understand what's already been taking place in this country with these police officers.
Absolutely. Just like that.
Yeah.
They could have taken his life.
Right.
I have had my life threatened before, but not by a cop. The trauma the fallout from that. Yeah. And that's what's real, y'all. That is what the other component that we're not talking about. We're not talking about how systematic oppression has caused us in our culture, in our community, the post-traumatic stress. And we pass that shit down like we pass down the color of our eyes.
Right.
And they wonder why the healthcare disparity between us. We carry a level of stress that no other culture of people in this country carries.
Right.
And they don't have to.
Absolutely.
Because their lives are valued. Because they have justice. And we don't.
Absolutely.
It is, I don't know what the solution is, but I know that it's, the time is now. And I think the young people, as young people always do, they always lead the charge.
Yes, they absolutely do.
They lead the charge.
Absolutely do.
Yes.
And as they should, because they are the generation that are going to have to experience it the longest.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And they have that fire inside of them. And even for my son, I see it just rose up, a fire in him to just be like, he already had this fire, but then to actually experience it and to know, and for him to look at me, and they arrested him and charged him, and for him to say when he got out of jail for protesting, mind you, peacefully, not even peacefully protesting, he was walking to his car, he was even no longer protesting.
Wow.
To say to me, the police don't care about it. He said, I now understand. I knew it, but now I experienced it. Police don't care about black people.
No.
And to have to keep doing that. Like we can't keep taking that. I mean, we're tired. There is no difference between my black son and that white officer's son.
That's right.
And there is no difference.
That's right.
And there shouldn't be this disparity. And it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yes.
And then when he got out of the jail, we look at his paperwork. They wrote on his paperwork that he couldn't protest anymore. So you're just gonna revoke his constitutional right?
Wow.
This is America, yeah.
Yeah. I did find out that I know that Stacey Shaw is doing work here in Kansas City with the protesters that have been. Matter of fact, before we taped this episode, my daughter called me and told me that they arrested her. She said she got dropped off at the site.
Wow.
And said that, and this is she got this from Stacey Shaw's Facebook page. Okay. That they immediately arrested her. She told them who she was, what officer she had been working with, and they still arrested her.
That's ridiculous.
It is absolutely insane. So Kansas City, we want to know what you're going to do about it. And we want to know what you're going to do about it. We know that change has to start right here at home. Okay? And so, and I hear people say all the time, well, you can't group all the officers together. All cops aren't bad. And you know what? You guys are absolutely right. Not all of them. But this is what happens. Just as those other cops stood around and watched him lynch Mr. Floyd, they're just as guilty. And so those cops, we know you're out there. We know y'all seen your buddies do some stuff that you probably would never do. But you kept your mouth closed. And you didn't correct that behavior. So you're a part of the problem.
To even drive that point home, because that is so very true. The other officers that were there, nobody tried to say, hey, you don't need to pull these guns on these young people or anything of that nature at all. And just to drive that point home about that is, why is that okay? Why is it okay that the other officers that stand around they don't have to have any accountability. Because guess what? If me and Sheila go down to that same plaza and we commit a crime, we try to big jump on somebody or anything, guess what? Even if I'm the one doing it, they gonna charge her with accessory.
Just because I was there.
Just because you were there.
That's justice, right? We want justice too.
Right.
Khiana, thank you so much for taking the time to share this story, and I would love for us to stay updated and know how Charles is doing, and if he is okay with it, I would love to show some of his pictures, him on the field, him doing his thing, because he's a scholar athlete, y'all. I mean, he no thug, and neither are his friends, and it's like, come on.
Absolutely. And the crazy thing is the police were the ones acting like the thugs.
See?
But we don't want to address that. That might be too real.
Absolutely. Yeah, cheers.
Definitely.
In spite of all of that's going on.
In spite of.
Yes.
Because the beautiful thing that is happening that I will say, to see, the Amish, the people in Paris and Switzerland standing in solidarity
with us.
Yes. It is such a beautiful thing to see that there are other people, and we know that there are other people. We're not saying, like Sheila said, that all cops are like that, but if you're standing around and you are not intervening, then you're a part of the same problem.
Yes, absolutely.
You're a part of the problem.
Absolutely. Cheers, y'all. Keep your eyes open, be kind, be gentle to one another, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers! Yay!
Yay!